Nutnfancy fans, SHOT Show 2010 continues. I'm going to do some of the review of the Springfield Armory booth. I have quite the personality to talk about the XDM pistol. Mr. Rob Leatham himself, what is up, dude?
Nothing, just here at the SHOT Show in Vegas. I want to show you a few guns that we're producing this year.
This guy is a rock star already in his own right.
Yeah, I'm a legend in my own mind.
The XD, you're a fan, I'm thinking, huh?
Very much. This is the new XDM. This is the newest version we have of the gun. It has a 3.8-inch barrel. The previous version was a 4.5, and it's available in 9mm, and in a couple weeks we'll have it out in 40.
Okay. By the way, guys, if you ever want to know what a tactical guru is, Mr. Rob is one of them.
Oh, I'm just a competition.
How many world champions do you have?
In which shooting organization?
You can name them.
Probably 15 or 20.
Wow. A bow, sir. From all team peers. No, seriously, I respect that. This is a guy that knows how to get it done. So 3.8-inch barrel, that's a variation on the XDM line?
That's our newest pistol. It's been available as a 4.5-inch, and now we've done a more compact version of 3.8, which has the same magazine and frame as the other one, so it requires no training. If you shoot one, you shoot the other. A little lighter, a little quicker, a little more compact.
And I know the XDM, the XD differences are out there. Do you think they're a big deal about the usability of the gun?
No, from the shootability and the safety and those kind of things, the difference between the guns are very, very small. Okay. The biggest difference is magazine capacity and the feel of the frame. The frame is adjustable. You can put different back straps on it to fit small hands, big hands, to just basically change the feel of the gun. If you like the feel of the XD, there's probably no particular reason you need an XDM.
Okay, well said, well said. And I gotta ask, have you done, I know you have, Trigger Time versus Glock XD?
Well, I'm not going to compare against them as I would anybody else. It's better for me to compare that against the 1911. The thing you have with the XD is it's a simple platform. It has 3 safeties. It has a safety on the back, on the grip, just like a 1911 does. It has a trigger safety, and it has a firing pin block. So while it doesn't have the safety like the 1911 does for the thumb safety, you basically have a series of passive safeties. So from the safety standpoint and usability, it's much simpler than a 1911 because you don't have a thumb safety you have to use your gnome.
Amen, brother.
So it's simple from that standpoint. As far as accuracy and reliability, I compare the gun more to a 1911 than I do any other product line. We've tried to keep the same grip angles in 1911 to make it feel the same. So somebody coming off any of the other guns, they're going to feel comfortable with it. And the difference between the difference between the XD line and the XDM line, there are many, many more models available in the XD line. We have 3.5-inch barrels, or we have 3-inch barrels, 4-inch barrels, 5-inch barrels. We have 9, 40, 357 SIG, 45 ACP.
I'm amazed at the breadth of the line.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I am amazed. You can find anything you want in the XD line, right?
Yes.
Like you're saying, size.
Right, well this one again is a 3.8, and you have a bitone, which is a stainless. All this whole row is a new 3.8.
Right.
You want to go over here?
Yeah, let me follow you. Rob Leatham in the house, the Nutnfancy project.
When you go through the XD line, you have so many variations, it's hard for me to remember them all. But
it's hard for me too.
So basically in 9 and 40 you have 3-inch, 4-inch, and 5 inches.
Okay.
In 45 you have 4-inch, that particular one is a compact, which is a short frame and a 4-inch barrel.
Okay.
And then there's a version with that in a longer frame, whereas this one holds 10 in the standard magazine, you get 13 in the 45 in the full-size version.
Okay, full-size 45 XDM.
And then in the 9mm line, you have subcompact, you have service model, and you have the 5-inch tactical versions. And that's available in 9, 40, and 45.
Nice. Let's say in the POU, I call it POU, philosophy of use as a service pistol. Which one would you choose, caliber and size?
Well, I'm old school.
Okay.
I like 45s.
45 it is.
If I'm trying to conceal the gun, then it's the biggest version, obviously, because it has to have the biggest magazine and it has the biggest frame. But if it's for open carrier duty, tactical use such as that, I'm going to always choose a 45 over anything else. Short of that, I've never been quite the 40 fan that most people are.
Okay, let me give you that background so we see Springfield Armory, not Winchester. You probably want to promote them.
Yep.
How come? 40
well,
no?
I'll tell you why. It's a compromised cartridge.
Interesting.
And I either want big or a lot of. And you can say that the 40 is a good compromise and that it has some of the punch of the 45 and a lot more magazine capacity, and that's what's made it, very popular. But I'm in the old school. I want big bullets or I want a bunch of bullets. And whereas an XDM in 9mm holds 19 rounds in the magazine.
A lot of firepower.
Yeah, it has a lot of shots. You know, a 45 ACP version of our XD still holds 13, but let's say you want to make it small and compact. If you take a XD subcompact, which is the smallest of the XD line, in 9mm holds 13 rounds in the small magazine. So I'm going to favor that over the 8 or 9 rounds of the 40 because it's the difference. This is personal preference for me, and you'll get 10,000 people that disagree with it, because I think that the marksmanship is going to be more important than the power of the card.
I say that all the time, bro.
So if I can't have something big, then I'd rather have something that I can shoot better, and I can shoot the 9.
There you are. Isn't that you on TV right there, dude?
Yeah, it's doing
freaking rocking and rolling to XD.
Some TV shows with guns and ammo.
You are a TV star. I agree with you, Rob. I think you being able to hit your freaking target is 10 times more important
than what you shot at it.
Thank you. Thank you. So 45 guy though, traditional, no problems with that. You know what a thing I like about the XD? Here's a perfect example, is all the crap that comes with it.
Oh yeah, and it's
high value, baby.
It's become a very prolific model line, so that everybody makes accessories for it. It's almost like the 1911. You can get holsters and flashlights and lasers and grip modifications and barrels and sights and everything through the line, and you can pretty much get anything you're looking for.
Anything you want. And guys will say, hey, Nutnfancy, I thought you were lukewarm on the XD. I used to be. After shooting it, I kind of dig it more. Honestly, I've been doing some trigger time on an XDM, and I dig it. Everything Rob is talking about, it has a very nice, consistent, fast trigger.
You just have to get used to the fact that it's ugly.
True that.
Old school like me, and you think you base everything off of 1911. My dad based everything off either a Luger or a Luger. Well, my dad loved Lugers. He thought they were the best looking guns, or single action Colts or Smith & Wesson end frame revolvers from the old days. Those are the guns he based everything off of. Well, I base everything off of 1911. So if it doesn't look like that, initially I'm like skeptical.
Right.
After you shoot the gun, the beauty of the gun isn't looking at it. The beauty of the gun is when you're firing it and it's in your hand and you're hitting targets.
Yeah, carry weight's decent too.
Yep.
Won't weigh you down.
Yep.
Cool, awesome, man. You got any competitions coming up?
Oh yeah, lots of them. We haven't shot anything yet. There's one next weekend at home. It's called the Western States Single Stack Classic for single stack 1911s. And then we're off for a little while, then everything fires up again in the end of April.
Anything you want to talk about 1911-wise, Springfield?
Oh, we make the best 1911s.
Can you go show us just a little bit?
Sure.
You have time?
Yeah.
Awesome. Rob Leatham, man. This guy's big too. He's like a football player. He's running block for me through the crowd.
We just push everybody
Freaking just push him away. You gotta see, I wish you could have heard Rob off camera. This guy is hilarious. Hilarious. Interacting what he was saying. I'm not even going to say what he said, but
I can't say it. It's not for public assumption.
Funny.
The whole thing about 1911s is everybody is making 1911s, but we've been making them nearly the longest. Only 1 or 2 companies have been doing it, and we're doing it the old-fashioned way. We still use original casting. We use the same machining operations that the gun's been built on for 100 years. That's important because the person looking for a 1911 wants the gun in a traditional fashion as far as
Here, we'll cruise over here, Rob, so we're further away from the TV so we can hear you.
But the big thing about 1911s is the proliferation of models. You can literally, starting here, this goes around in
I like
small to large.
This is awesome. My viewers are going to dig this.
This is the smallest 1911 on the market. This is what we call an
right?
EMP. This one's a 40 and this one's a 9mm. It has a 3-inch barrel, but the magazine has actually been shortened front to back to work with a, that's not one, that's
right, that's just representation.
That's bigger than the frame. But the magazine's been shortened to the length so it's correct for 9 and 40. Whereas the other version of the gun we make, which is called an ultra compact, which sits right here, that gun, or the micro compact, actually uses a magazine that's long enough for 45 ACP. So those two versions of the gun are available in 45 ACP.
Okay.
But to make the gun smaller, we had to take something away. So we built it specifically for 9 and 40. Right?
Which I think is a great carry choice.
And let us take the magazine and shorten it front to back, which let us take that amount of room out of the grip area.
Yep.
So that's why it's smaller front to back.
Word.
So this is as small as we're ever going to get, unless we try to make one for a 380.
Amen. I like it. EMP. Then when you move up in size,
you got ultra compact, which is a 3-inch barrel, 3.5-inch barrel. Then you have the Champion, which is a full-size frame, same as the 5-inch gun, standard government model, traditional size, but this has a 4-inch barrel.
Okay.
And with any of the guns that are under a 5-inch barrel, they're all bull barrels, and they use a captured spring system with an integral feed ramp on the barrel.
Okay.
All right.
If you have any preferences as we go along, Rob, sing them.
Oh, I'm old school. I like 5-inch 45s.
Okay, so full size.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
So here's a 5-inch 45 right here. It's a loaded bitone lightweight, means it's an aluminum alloy frame, so the gun is very, very light. All right. This version actually has a integral feed ram barrel, which is kind of a trick that came off the competition guns.
Loaded means it has a bunch of features on it, right?
Yeah, it means you get the Novak sights, you get front cocking serrations, you got a grip, a beaver tail grip safety, you have a beveled magwell, you have a different style hammer, you have ambidextrous safeties, you have an adjustable long aluminum trigger.
All the stuff we'd expect in
Well, when I
a
started
higher end.
shooting, all that stuff is what we did custom to make them competition guns, and now that is our standard version of the gun.
Right.
And you step up from there, you can have adjustable sights. If you move over to the trophy match models,
Let me ask you before we leave here, though, aluminum versus steel. I already know you're a steel guy.
I'm a steel guy.
I knew you would be. How about shooting those, though? You're a competition shooter. I throw this in your hand. Are you at a disadvantage shooting an aluminum frame?
A lighter gun, it has nothing to do with
I know it's going to
aluminum.
kick more.
It kicks more, so that's going to reduce my recovery time.
Okay.
So that's what I would pick. Matter of fact, my carry gun is a ultra compact in an alloy frame in 45.
There you have it, Mr. Rob Leatham himself, saving weight in that POU. Continuing, bro.
But for open carry, I don't care if it weighs 4 ounces, 5 ounces more. Matter of fact, if you just shoot a lot of rounds through it, practice or training, the heavier it is, the less it kicks, the more
pleasant shooting.
I'm going to be shooting it.
Okay, nice.
I shoot a lot of 9mm 1911s just because of that. Because I can double the round count in a day before I start showing fatigue if I shoot a 9. 300 to 400 rounds in a training session with a 45 ball, I can shoot 500 or 600 rounds in 9 before I show the same symptoms.
Great data point, sir.
Now you can go up from there and you can take the same gun you just saw as a loaded. This one's a 9. You can get also in 45. We just added adjustable sights for those people that want that. And then you can move up from that point and you get yourself into the fancy guns. Now, we have a trophy match here, which on top of the adjustable sights, it also has a magwell like we use for competition, and it uses a flat-topped and serrated on the top. This gun's basically a single-stack 1911 competition gun.
Yep,
but
set
it's
up,
a
ready
production
to go.
gun instead of a $2,000 or $3,000
Cost on that ballpark, Rob?
No idea.
Good answer.
They give them to me.
You get whatever gun you want. You're like, you know what? I think
It's
I want
good
to run
be
this gun now.
It's good I get to be whatever I want.
Sponsored shooter,
The
baby.
next version is a version that has a light rail on it, which this one has a lock on it. You know why? They don't want anybody stealing it.
That's why.
So guess what?
They disabled it.
Either I don't know how to take it off or it's not supposed to come off.
Dude, I dig these grips right here. Those G10
those
grips.
G10 grips really
Awesome.
You know when they really matter? When it's wet.
Do you get your hands get sweaty in competition?
Oh, yeah, I live in Arizona.
Okay. That's a given then.
6 months out of the year, it's 100 degrees or above, so yeah, it's sweaty. This
And
version
then
has a light rail.
two times, your hands get sweaty in competition, then when your wife asks you what you were doing the night before, right?
Well, I don't come home.
Love those grips. Love the looks of
This
them
is
too.
a TRP operator. This is the upper.
I love this gun,
and that's
actually.
the most highly modified version we have.
I think I did a tabletop review on that one.
And that's the whole gun.
Wicked, wicked. Rob, thanks. Let me ask you this. For guys that want to improve their shooting skills, they're going to listen and treat you like, you know, a shooting god. 5 tips for guys shooting. Let me again give you the Springfield backdrop here.
Don't try to substitute dry firing for live fire. Everybody says you can learn how to do everything dry firing. Not true. All you can learn are the mechanics of holding the gun and pulling the trigger. Okay, you can learn how to draw and reload, but you can't learn to deal with the recoil of the gun. You can't do target acquisition. You can't do multiple shots on the target unless the gun fires. Okay, so tip number 1 is shoot more, 2 is shoot more, 3 is shoot more, 4 is shoot better, and then 5 is shoot more better.
How about breathing trigger control?
Hold your breath while you shoot. If you're going to be shooting for 10 seconds,
Thank you.
if you can't hold your breath, you need to be in better shape.
That's what I do, dude.
That's right.
I totally. I think
don't
I'm a
worry about
medium level tactical shooter, dude. That's and I'm lucky to get
breathe
that.
when you can, shoot when you should.
Nice. That's Mr. Rob Leatham, Springfield Armory sponsored shooter. If you ever want to see him in action, look his name up online. You'll see clips of him probably everywhere. He's one of the most winningest shooters pistol-wise in the world. Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
Nutnfancy checking out Springfield Armory. Maybe show you some stills of some of their rifles. Peace out.